Good morning. This is Debbie, and I know all of you are excited about the new release of the Studio 3.0.343 that's available for download on the Silhouette site right now. So I thought I would get into some of this and do a little explaining about what is going on. As you know, I've been one of the beta testers and worked back and forth with Silhouette support and their programmers, and believe me, they have worked very hard to get this release so we can all start enjoying this new software. There's still a few little glitches and bugs, but nothing that we can't, hold off on while they continue to work on this. In the meantime, we can really be enjoying this new software. So I'm getting started. As you can see, here is the splash screen, and you'll see down here where they are showing all of the new features and everything. And I am going to show you, a lot of us don't want to begin with this splash screen, so I can just click right here to not show this page again, and the next time you launch it, you won't see this come up first. But I'm going to go ahead and leave mine as it is, and I'm going to click right over here on design, and I am going to try to make a few little adjustments here because I'm using a different mouse. And as you can see, I've set mine up to sort of like this page settings default here for letter size, because that's what I create a lot of things in, because most of us don't have large format printers where if we wanted to do a print and cut, we could print out 12 by 12. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, so here I opened up to the page settings, and as you can see, I already set my icons up here to large. And the way you do this is to go to your little icon down here, or you can go up to edit up here and go to your display. And hold on, I'm just going to change out my mouse real quick because I'm not liking this too much. Oh, did you hear that? And that was a project that just fell. I've been busy making Easter baskets, and I made a lot of them with this software. Okay, so anyway, here we are in preferences, and you can go to display, and right here, now remember, if you change these, you're going to have to close out of your software and relaunch it. But you can change your button sizes, that's these up here, to a larger size, which I did so I could see them better. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit cancel out here, and then I'll show you how you can get to it to edit. So if you go to edit and then preferences, you will get the same thing. I just find it easier to use this little cog down here. And then you have different areas you can go into, like your selection. For example, continue drawing shapes, and I want to go to choose and select for that. Continue drawing freehand. Well, I'm going to leave that as it is because I like to be able to continue to draw instead of having to pick it up each time. And I'm going to leave the others the same as well. So now just click apply, and I'm going to go right off of that. Okay, now I've noticed here too that if this little icon up here, if your screen looks the same as mine on my other computer, all of my tools show. So, but on this screen, for some reason, it's not. Probably because I made my icons too large. So I can go back in and make them smaller. But right here are my cut settings that are available. And then right here, send to Silhouette. Okay, now we're going to talk about that. Some of the little glitches that have been in here. Right now, we are still not able to export our library. At least I'm not, and I know some others are not, but that is something that the programmers are working on. As a matter of fact, we just sent off an email this morning with some screenshots for one of the programmers, and they are working hard to get this fixed. So then we also, here we go, that little sign I don't like. pops up and I don't know why, not on this computer. Okay, let's get busy doing some explorations here. Okay, most of you are concerned about your layers, okay, and this is what layers are. If I open up my layers menu, you'll see here it popped, and if I want the whole screen to fill with layers, I'm just going to go like that. Now in layer 1, you can see it's still blank. So say I am doing a box, and we'll just say this is the completed box, and then I want to add another little panel here that when my box is completed, it will just go here. So what I'm going to do is add a layer, and I'm going to go to my offset tool. I'm going to do an internal offset. Oops, I better select it first. It likes it when I select it, when I do it right. Okay, so I'm doing an internal offset, and then just slide this bar right about there. And then say I want to fill this with a pattern. This one's just fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is when I click on this, you can see that this is my fill pattern. Well, I'm going to drag it down to layer 2 because that's something I'm going to do print and cut later. So I'm going to leave my original shapes that are just going to cut out into a regular shape on this first layer, and then everything that I want print and cut I'm going to put on my second layer. Now this is just an option, but I wanted to show you something else. If we go to our cut settings, you still have your standard cuts where you can cut edge, cut, perforated edge, and everything that we used to have in our old version. Now if I go to my advanced settings, you're now going to see line color is what I have selected, and I'm going to show you something really quick here. I'm going to draw another square. So you see there I have 2 squares, but this little icon that's in the middle, I don't want these 2 squares to cut across each other like that. I want them to sort of blend, or what we would call a weld. So this little icon here, if you click on this, that's going to cut it to where it looks like it's welded. That's how you can take layers when you put layers on top of layers and you just want the edge to cut. It does the same thing. Now if we go by fill color, you can see the only thing I have filled is my pattern. So I have that checked because that's what I want to cut. It's just this area with the pattern in it. If I added others, let's go back. I'm going to flip back over here. And I'm going to fill this with a color. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my cut settings. And let's take a look at that fill color again. Now you'll see that I have both of these selected. Of course, if I just want to click off the green one and only print and cut this one, this is what will happen. If I want them both selected, I do this. Now the other thing, let me go ahead and delete these out. I'm going to control click to duplicate this and show you again that I have these overlapping, and if I click this little icon here, there we go. It's going to cut the edge of that. Now if I go by line color, you can see all my lines are red. If I wanted to change these lines, the line color, I'm going to hold my shift key down and I'm going to go in here and change the line color to a blue, and then we're going to go back to our cut settings, and we're going to look at that line color again. I didn't change them both to blue, so let's go back and change this one to blue. Go back to our cut settings. And I'm going to scroll down. Well, why is that not changing? Line color. Let's see if it changes. Well, it looks like there's a change. Maybe this is another little bug that's occurring. I hope not. Okay. So what I'm going to do is turn that off. Oh, that's just showing me this one here. Oh, it is showing these as blue. Okay, so now my line colors are both blue here. And it's not a glitch, it's just me. Okay, so then if once again we hit this and we get that cut edge. So this is just a brief explanation, and I'll be making more videos to show you what is new and what's going on in some of the little bugs that they fixed. I will say I cut out several things yesterday because I made Easter baskets with the beta version software. This was before this was even released, and the new release had even more little fixes done and stuff like that. So I think that you're going to really, really, really enjoy this this software. Okay, now another question's been asked, and I'm going to see if I have some papers here, because this is no, I don't. Well, I wanted to explain the fill pattern. Now before, in our previous versions, if we drew a shape like that and we reached over and grabbed a pattern or digipaper, we could easily fill this. Well, right now, one of the little bugs is that we can't do this. But, oh, we can, because there is a little workaround. If you save this as a blank document, and then you reopen it, and you draw any shape on it, you can still drag and drop a pattern. And also down here, let's see, we'll do a split screen, and I'm going to go to my library, and my patterns, which most of them are still loaded. This is just, you can still just go up to your pattern fill. And there you go, you can drag and drop from your library. Now to close back out of that. There we go. Okay, and remember we still have our advanced options down here for our patterns, where you can go in and make them larger. Oops, better click on that first. And you can change all sorts of things here in your advanced patterns. So anyway, that's another little show. And well, I'm going to go ahead and start with a new document here. And remember the rotation tool that wasn't working? Let's see how it's working now. Okay, now all you have to do is, to see the little center of rotation tool, is just hit your O key. There, now it's on. Isn't that great? And if I hit my O key again, it turns it off. Now we'll turn it back on. We'll just do a little quick check of this. Holding down my shift key to draw that perfect little circle. And I'm just eyeballing the center of this, nothing fancy. Now here, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit so I can see that center of rotation tool, and that's okay. Drag this down to the middle, or what I perceive as the middle, because I'm not doing this exact. And then we go to our replicate tool, and we go down here to your advanced options again. And I'm just going to guess at a number again. So I'll say 18. and we'll make it 20 degrees and hit the replicate. I'm going to zoom. I actually only needed 17 of those, but that's okay. We'll just delete one of those out. I'm going to stretch this out again so I can do a little weld. Nothing perfect here, just showing. Okay. And then our weld, and as you can see, I didn't overlap that enough, but it's working. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so we want to delete that out, and then you still have your tools, and some people are asking what these little dots here are for, and the only thing I can see that they're doing right now is they seem to resize it for us and turn it. This one seems to turn. This one seems to resize. And remember, over here, I'm going to resize it larger so you can see better. I'm going to drag it over here. And remember, with this tool, you can make all sorts of shapes by dragging this right here. You change that. And then if you go downward, you can get it all the way to that perfect triangle. And resize. Okay, now what I like to do once I have it the way I want it, I want to right click, and I'm just going to convert that to a path. And now you'll notice it's a path that I can make further changes by editing nodes here. So I'm going to set that up there to the side, and then we have our arc tool. You draw that out. And it creates a perfect arc. Now, some people are wondering how this works, so I'm going to try to do a quick little show and tell here. Maybe not so quick, huh? Okay, now once again I want to convert this to a path so I can make the adjustments. I'm going to, first of all, let me zoom in so everyone can see this better. Okay, now I have this selected. I'm going to go up here and break the path. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to have to go down here. Delete that point. Delete that point. There we go. After I broke that path. Now, if I double click on this and bring that up there, drag this out a little more here, up to there. I hope you're able to see what I'm doing here. I'm going to make this a path. So now I'm going to select all of this, and I may have to make some other, I can see here, if I zoom in, I want to try to connect these as closely together as you can to this arced line. And I'm just going over this because maybe some of you forgot how to do this. I'm going to scroll down over here and take a look at this end. Okay, it looks good to me, so I'm going to go fit to window so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to select everything, or we can do Control A. That's better. Okay, I'm going to right click and hit Make Compound Path. Now I'm going to fill it with a color, but watch and see what it does. We're going to fill it with a green. It doesn't fill, does it? Because it hasn't quite made that compound path. So what I have to do is double click on it again, click on this red point, click on this red point, and there we go. We have filled that with a compound path. Then you'll also notice that you have your little freehand tool. And with the drawing with the mouse, it's a little jiggity and everything, but I have a Wacom tablet that I use with my other computer, and it draws a lot nicer. And then you also have the same tool that we had before. Drawing us a smoother line. Which, being able to draw these shapes is really great, because sometimes we just need that unusual shape and we want that line a little bit thicker. All we have to do is go onto the offset and do an offset, and then we have that shape easy to cut out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and delete that out. Now, the other thing is exporting your library. I don't know if I already went over this or not, but if you export your, at least for myself and a couple others have reported, when they go to export their library, you go here, File, Library, and Export Library, you'll get a progress bar that comes up. Well, mine seems to be sticking. I mean, it comes up to 100%. It shows the progress bar at 100%, but then the progress bar stays on there. Well, the work around this is just to close out Studio and relaunch it. If you, then mine haven't been exporting correctly as well, but like I said, Silhouette and the programmers are aware of this, and they are working on it, so hopefully we'll have that available real soon. Okay, now you noticed earlier I went down here, and if you hit this little button here and it shows you all of your options, you can go straight to the store, or you can split the screen. Once you've selected your library, when you split the screen, you can see your work area and your library. Now I'm just going to go back here. That's just to show my library, my split screen, and then go up here, and there we go. We're all back. Also down here you have a select by color. This is really nice because you can select by line color or you can select by fill. So if I go by fill, obviously the only color I have on the board is here, but it does select them. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these out. So a lot of those issues that we had in the previous version, even the eraser, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Fill it with the color so you can see it real well. Let's just fill it with red. And we go over to our eraser tool. And remember, I have it selected where it is continuous. And see how much easier this is to see? They've now made this a blue little dot so we can see it easier. You go in here and you can resize your eraser. And you can still see that tiny little blue dot I just did. And of course I have solid, so if I went in here, there we go. Now remember, I selected to continue to keep my eraser selected, so it is still selected. And also up here, if you want just a straighter edge, you use that eraser. I'm trying to think if there's anything that is really important that I've missed, and I don't think I have. Of course, you have this here too, where you can just do an immediate offset by clicking here. Takes you right back to your offset options. You still have your group and your ungroup and select by color, and then this is your select all, which is the same thing as hitting your Control A. and this is deselect. So you have more little tools at the bottom that make it quicker and more convenient for you. You have all of these different tools at the top. You're now able to use your center of rotation tool. You can drag and drop your library patterns into a shape. If you want to use some of your patterns on your computer or your digipaper, just save it as a blank document. Once you open it, you can drag and drop as much as you want. And like I said, some of these issues, not everything's fixed, but this software is great. I'm really loving it. And like I said, the cuts were so beautiful yesterday. And hopefully I'll be able to get some photographs of the little baskets I made and get them posted on my blog so I can just show you. I made 5 baskets yesterday. And there's that little color scheme thing that keeps on popping up. I'm so sorry about that. Well, it's been a nice quiet morning around here. My dogs haven't been naughty, and I'm glad I had the chance to make this video. I hope you all love this software as much as I do. Remember, new things, sometimes we have to learn them and we think, oh no, what am I going to do with this? You'll be amazed at the things that you figure out as you go in here and play with this software even more. So enjoy it, have lots of fun. And by the way, happy Easter to everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.